Electric universe theory with a Thunderbolt project. I personally, I don't think that's the future of science. I don't think that's the future of anything, really. I believe Electric Universe is a group based on mythology. Now, mythology is something that earlier humans believed in because it was spread by books, overviewing certain ideas, and relaying those past events. So basically, mythology could be the entire earth flooded, okay? Yet one little river in this small village flooded. That's what mythology means. A lot of their ideas about electrical comets and Venus ejecting from Jupiter, I think, are completely bogus, because comets are rocks. They're not electrical at all. They're just rocks. And Venus ejecting from Jupiter is incredibly dumb if you understand how large Venus is, and the mutual gravitational attraction between Venus and Jupiter would not allow for any type of escape whatsoever. Okay, and I said my piece with that. I want to know who funds the Electric Universe project or the Thunderbolts project. I want to see their income and balance sheets. I want to see where the money's coming from. I want to see where it's going. And I want to get to those numbers. I want to see which individual is keeping that thing going. I know there's a large funding process or financier with that Thunderbolts project, and the reason why I want to know who it is because we can find out so much about where the Thunderbolts project is going by the beliefs of the main financier of that organization. And it's my suspicion that the beliefs of the main financier of that organization are pushing Velikovsky nonsense. And yes, Velikovsky had a lot of nonsense. I believe he was a psychologist. Now, mind you, that should be no reason for poo-pooing all of his ideas, but it does show you that maybe, just maybe, there is a part of Velikovsky that was, hey, I want to be creative about something. I want to write a book on this or that. And I just wanted to explore my creative talents. And good on him for that. But the fact is, if you're going to explore creative talents, don't push it off on the public as being factual information. Period. If you're going to write the book Worlds in Collision, okay, you should have put a disclaimer in there. Say, hey, this might be able to explain things. I don't know if it does or not, but maybe it doesn't. But for the most part, it's a creative endeavor. But ever since that book was written, like way back in the day, before I was even born in 1984, you had people who were attracted to it because it made sense to them. Now, I'm all about making sense, but those same people who were originally attracted to the first publishing of that book are still alive today. They're in their 60s, 70s, and 80s, and they're still pushing these beliefs of Velikovsky. And Electric Universe, if they want to continue on with their theory development, they really need to understand that science isn't about myth. Mythology is done. There's no room for mythology in 21st century science at all. Mythology is for history. It's for archaeological things. It's for paleontology type stuff. But that's about it. When it comes to actual science and doing experiments, EU has no bounds at all. And I know they think it does because when mainstream screws up and makes huge mistakes concerning comets, in which they did make a huge mistake, they thought the comet was a big ice ball when clearly it's rocks. They say it was mechanically hard ice. How much harder than ice can you get? Well, if it's rocks, you call it mechanically hard ice. It's that same nonsense mainstream pulls over your eyes with the ice giants, Neptune and Uranus. They're not made out of ices. Those are infernos, man. Those things are hot in their interior. But they call them ice because of the very highest atmosphere of the star. Because, well, obviously Earth has very cold temperatures in the very top atmosphere. So does Jupiter. So does Saturn. We call those ice giants? No. Calling the Earth ice giant? That'd be very weird. Yeah, it's cold in Antarctica and the Arctic, but anyways, I do not support Electric Universe or Thunderbolts Project simply because every time I go online to YouTube, I see what I would like to say like a cult type understanding, where they make everything all special and they use these huge production value videos to push their ideas, and there's very little explanation as to what's going on, and they don't really include a lot of things concerning chemistry and electrochemistry, which is basically the entirety of the sun, or how rocks and minerals form, or, you know, they just ignore a whole hell of a lot. And it's dangerous to be like that, to have people try to follow a group like that. It's very dangerous. Look at Scientology. L. Ron Hubbard, where he wrote that one book, Dianetics or something. What was it called? Dianetics. And then he had a whole bunch of followers, and before you know it, you have like this crazy religion where everybody spends millions of dollars believing that somehow that we're these aliens in human form and we're gonna go up to the mothership or whatever. That crap's gotta go, man. If you're looking at Electric Universe stuff, you really should take a deep look inside of yourself and realize what it really is. It's an agenda-based cult, and you need to get the hell away from it. Now, I'm saying this because when I first went to Electric Universe after I made the discovery that stellar evolution is the process of planet formation, that a planet is nothing but an older star. The star starts hot and bright, and it cools and shrinks and dies and becomes a little hard rocky ball called a planet, which continues wandering the galaxy. When I first made that discovery, I told Bill Gates, he made me a quick video on it, and then included his rope hypothesis, which is, my opinion, very poor reasoning. And then you had me going to the Electric Universe forum and trying to get down every single bit of information I could to try to help out Electric Universe. And over time, I realized, my God, these people are not interested in science. They're not interested in having a reasonable explanation for things. What they were interested in is proving how right they are all the time. And that's not science at all. Proving how right you are isn't science. Science is just forming a hypothesis, devising a test for that hypothesis, doing the test, having your results, publishing your results, writing it all down, and then trying to hone questions to make a better hypothesis, and then that process continues on and on and on and on. But there's nothing of that in Electric Universe. It's an anti-science group. They don't give a shit about science. So any young man or woman who is listening to this, be very careful when you navigate their web pages. I think it's a cult. I think it's the beginnings of a cult where they idolize a few people, and then once those people pass on, the cult is going to even have more power because those people won't be able to speak up and make corrections. And before you know it, you're going to have another Scientology group where people get sent to islands to be tortured, mentally and emotionally tortured. And they're going to try to pass it off as a religion just to get more funds to keep that perpetual belief going. Velikovsky is a more modern version of L. Ron Hubbard. And that, my friend, is very, very, very dangerous. And I just wanted to make this video to let my viewers know about that. Me, I don't give a shit about money. I don't give a shit about creating a group. All I want people is just to understand what they're standing on. That's it. This big ball of rocks and minerals is just an older dead star. That is the very extent of my argument. But Electric Universe, they're like, oh well, we can figure all this stuff out through mythology, and we have to pay attention to the guys who came before us, and we have to decipher these ancient texts. It's like they're perverted form of Bible study. Now I know I might receive a lot of enemies for this, but I just had to say it. My inner judgment is telling me that group is not where you want to be. And as a young man or young woman watching this, stay the hell away from them. Stay the hell away from them. Go to school, take your little classes of mainstream astronomy or physics or biology or chemistry, and go through life and do that if you can handle that. If you want to go beyond that, look at a lot of the things I've been writing, and a lot of people who are dissidents look at what they write. But I'm on the fringes. I'm on the very, very fringes. So a lot of things I write are going to be complete bullshit, and you have to understand that. But don't go in reverse. Don't go back to the year 2000 BC and think that mythology can solve these like Electric Universe does. That's so far in the past and so far backwards, and it's just not worth your time. Those people are caught in some type of weird mental loop, and it's just a big chaotic mess. Don't involve yourself with those people. They're not healthy in the mind. They're not right up here. Okay. Also, today is February 15th, 2015. I hope this talk can help people and steer them in the direction that they're supposed to be headed in life. Okay.